Ain't nothing left in there. Not a damn thing. I found the list of reasons why Joey Hazel should be Tennessee's offensive coordinator. Look at the list. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here, ain't there? Yeah. This is the worst part about this loss. It's not the fact that we just lost. It's the fact that I can't exit the world of pain by drinking. I thought I was going to be able to do that. It was the first time tonight. I drank all of these except for 2. Thank you to my friend for drinking 2 of these. I drank the other 6, and I thought that was going to ease the pain a bit. But nope, not a damn thing. It's 3.2 alcohol by volume. Right? 3.2 alcohol by volume. No. And meanwhile, Tennessee on offense, 0.2 yards per carry. That's our offense right now. Listen, I'm gonna go to bed tonight. Eventually, once these 7:30 games are over, I'm not even gonna bother with the pick'ems. Why even bother? I'm just gonna go to bed tonight, get under these sheets, and go to bed. And I'm probably gonna be under a 8-long-hour dream of, instead of the sheep jumping over the fence like you usually see, instead it's the sheep running it up the middle on 3rd and 5th freaking down. I'm not wearing that hat tonight. I ain't wearing that. I ain't wearing it. I'm not. If y'all are gonna quit and y'all are gonna say that you're too good to play a full football game, then why should I? I should only wear that Tennessee hat for the first half from now on. Whenever the second half rolls around, I should do like this and that stupid hat and just take it all off. I should just completely take everything out of this room Tennessee related, because if they're not going to give their all for Tennessee, then why should I? Here's the official motto going forward for Tennessee. Instead of "I will give my all for Tennessee," it's "I will give 30 minutes for Tennessee." Everything after that, the other 30 minutes, we're just going to disappear, I guess. We're just going to vanish. We're going to vanish into the shadow realm and never come back. 0 unanswered point. 0 points. 0 points throughout the entirety of the second half. Bama completely blanked you. In fact, they didn't even blank you. You blanked yourself. You basically destroyed yourself internally. But why am I surprised? It's the exact same issues every single week. I told y'all I wasn't a believer in Joe Milton last week. And, well, Joe Milton didn't exactly have the best game, but he definitely was not the reason we lost today. I'll tell you that much. The running backs did whatever they could. Wide receivers did whatever they could. Got some great passes. Squirrel's catch at the beginning of that game, absolutely phenomenal. But it's like everybody thought that it was a one-half game. Everything else after that, we played through the first half. We're winning. That must mean the game's over. We're just gonna go. We're just gonna disappear now. Yep, that was the philosophy for Tennessee. So the worst part about this is, after drinking all those drinks except for 2 of them, I'm sober and pissed. I'm not even tipsy. I'm not even close to being anywhere near blackout drunk. I'm just pissed and angry. Maybe Joey Hazel, our offensive coordinator, is blackout drunk. He's been coaching like it for the entirety of the second half. I don't understand, man. I don't understand the coaching, and it's not just him. I don't think Joey Hazel should be. I don't think he should spend another. I think they should just leave his ass in Tuscaloosa if it were up to me. But it's not. And to be honest, it wasn't entirely his fault either. Of course, this entire season and the way the offense has progressed, and the fact that Joe Milton's still playing and they don't trust the quarterback and they aren't doing anything about it except sitting on their foot and then hoping that when they put their finger up their ass that maybe they'll find a hemorrhoid or 2 to help them out. Instead of doing any of that, what they should be doing is fixing the issue by putting in a different quarterback that you trust. But nope, they just continue to do the same thing, frolic around, jump, and just continue to sit on their own assholes and just hope that something happens. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm slurring my words because maybe I am a little tipsy. I don't know. I sure don't feel like it. I just feel angry and pissed. Imagine this, okay? You drank all these drinks, and instead of feeling, that high before eventually crashing, you just instantly crash. Like Windows 98. Does that give any? Hey, yeah, Windows 98. Does that? Yeah. There you go. You can run around with that meme for a while. Why don't you? You get to run around with it for a whole nother damn year. Tennessee. Any hopes of making the playoffs, the SEC championship, pretty much anything of relevance is out the window now. With that Bama loss, that's our second SEC loss. That's, any hope of competing for anything meaningful is out the window. Tennessee's offense is just a mess right now. I don't even know if we win out the rest of the season, and we probably won't. We still got to play Georgia, unfortunately, and then we got to play at Kentucky and at Mizzou. And with our track record on the road in SEC games, as terrible as it is, I don't even trust it. I don't even trust us to win either of those games. So 8-4, 7-5. I don't know. You tell me. I'd love to know. I'd really love to know. But yeah. We completely folded in the second half. Just an incredibly awful performance in the second half. Tennessee, maybe now we'll figure out that, you got to play 60 minutes of football. Maybe next week I should take all this shit off and just come out and tell y'all that, I'm going to give 30 minutes for Tennessee instead of give my all for Tennessee. Maybe that's what I should do. But anyway, I digress. Shout out to Bama. Shout out to the fans. Shout out to the team. They deserve this win. They were down by a significant margin, and everybody thought that Tennessee was the real deal. But the truth be told, that's just not the case. You can't just sit on your ass and not do anything for an entire half and expect for things to go your way. It just doesn't play out like that. It's not the defense's fault that we lost. The defense did everything they needed to do for the first half, and because our offense just continuously could not get a first down, the defense was sitting there for 50 hours on the damn field, and of course, shocking revelation, as it turns out, the defense eventually got tired, Bama capitalized on it and made something happen out of it. That's not on the defense. Well, it is on the defense, but let's not sit here and act like it's their fault that we lost. And then, so it's not the defense's fault. And these dumbass Tennessee fans running around on Twitter blaming the refs and all this stupid shit. Like, yeah, the refs make horrible calls, but the refs aren't the reason we couldn't score a point in the second half. So it's exactly like I told you last week with Texas A&M. This offense ain't cutting it, and it's not going to cut it against Bama, and as it turns out, I was correct. You can go on for a couple of drives and do the same thing, but you got to play a complete game, and Tennessee didn't. We didn't. We're not built that way. And the fact that our offense just continues to be as stagnant and as terrible, and we don't even try and switch it up, we just continue to do the same damn stupid little plays every single time. At this point in the season and the way things have played out, I told you guys this last week as well. There is no reason, and I never until he does get fired. Joey Hazel gone. Get him out of Knoxville. He does not deserve. He obviously doesn't. He doesn't know what he's doing. He just doesn't. He doesn't. If you don't trust your quarterback, you're not bound to win any big games. And he doesn't trust Joe. And instead of doing anything, and Heupel. What the hell is going on with Josh Heupel, too? Going for it on 4th and 1 and then running it up the middle is the biggest mix of two of the most smooth-brained things you can find. Like, how in the world do you do that? You're giving the game to Bama. And the defense, of course, bailed Tennessee out there, too. And how did we respond on offense? The same exact damn thing. Run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle. And then we went up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle. We did it all game long until the final drive. And, of course, succumbing to the pressure, Joe Milton couldn't do anything about it. He knows it. The coaches know it. The fans know it. They don't trust Joe. And at this point, it's time for him to go. Listen, I have no issues with Joe Milton. Other than the fact that he's just not a good quarterback. He just doesn't have it. He doesn't have it together. But Joe was not the reason we lost today. He wasn't the reason we won either. And he certainly wasn't the reason we could have been winning. But, it's Joe Milton's not the one calling runs up the middle and 3rd and long. So he's not the one that made us lose this game. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Shout out to the Bama fans. You guys deserve the dub. That's all there is to it, man. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. Obviously, I still have to stick around here. That's just all there is to it. So, Vols podcast tomorrow. Me, Lucas, Sharp, and Julio will talk about the game. We'll talk about how this played out. And I'll get plenty of time to talk about my opinion on Joey Hazel. If it were up to me, we just drop his shit in Tuscaloosa and say, go find your way home. Until you figure out how to run a decent level offense. Until then, you can share a room with Brian Ferentz. Through and through, though, regardless of whatever happened, go Vols. That's all there is to it. That's all you can say. Go Vols, baby. Hopefully we'll rebound. Kentucky, best get that KFC ready.